Thank you, Chair, and congratulations to Professor Kipsoi for her nomination as our ambassador designate to the Republic of South Korea. I presume that you are familiar with the Kenya-Korea Economic Innovation Partnership Program, the EIPP, which is centered on Konza City and the development of Konza Technology City, which is a cornerstone of our smart city concept, as well as the celebrated Silicon Valley idea, and also part of the Kenya Vision 2030. This particular project has been very slow, and some people have described it as a white elephant. It was established in 2008, and there hasn't been much movement. And Korea is a major partner in that. So if you were to be appointed as our ambassador, what steps are you going to take to accelerate and realize this particular important project? We were on a mission to Korea, and we were told most of the frustration is from the Kenyan side. Then the second one is the question of trade and tourism. You have alluded to it, but again, on a number of visits that we have made to South Korea, the major handicap to doing business and attracting tourists is the lack of direct flights between the two countries. Korean Air used to come here. I think Kenya Airways had flights there, but that has stopped. On the other hand, we found that, in fact, Ethiopian Airlines from a neighboring country flies there daily. So I think my question is, what would you do to correct that? Because without that, we will not be a competitive country for visits and for trade.
Respond, Prof.
Thank you, Honorable Yusuf, Honorable Chair. With Konza, there has been delay in terms of some of the deadline timelines that they had set, but it takes the timelines from our end were attributed to some of the paperwork that were not coming through, particularly the contractors that were on site. But I think when you look at what we are doing and what we have done, and what what was realized with the summit or the high-level visit by our head of state to Korea, there is going to be marked improvement, because one, with what we call the KAIST Institute, it is projected to admit its first postgraduate students the first quarter of 2024. That is something that I think we can celebrate, because under phase one, the CEO had indicated that they were ready now. We also have the smart city digital infrastructure being mapped out. The hardware and the spacing is already underway. So there is a lot of I do not want to speak for the CEO of Konza Techno, but you can see in terms of paper and in terms of goodwill now, there is a direction towards finalizing that. And without doubt, once it is finalized, because we are now on some of the out of the 8 projects, the first one, phase one, is almost complete, that of developing the institute. The others are under either feasibility study or appraisal stage. For instance, the feasibility on the Smart Vaccination Institute is already accepted by the Korean Bank for financing. So when you think about it, you realize that it's a matter of time, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, we will see it having sprung out from the ashes, as said. There is a lot that I can do as a bureaucrat sitting in Seoul. I think my role is to consistently and persistently monitor the progress of every MOU towards its realization. Because unless you keep the MDGs on check in terms of the status of every item that is on the desk of in terms of the agreement, it can get lost in the day-to-day business at the ministry. But as the head of mission, my work in terms of our interest in Korea and what Korea is doing for us is to call, email, and ensure that every MDA that is supposed to respond, who is actioned, is working on it. For instance, under labor now, we have a good working understanding that has come through from November visit. This is on labor, on the employment of staff. And part of the benefits will come from KONZA for those who want to serve in Korea under the employment permit agreement that we have. Unless you push the MDAs or you push the authorities, in this case the National Employment Authority, to have a lead or a link person to be able to correspond on a day-to-day basis and directly with Korea, their Korean counterpart, this is something that can be delayed. On tourism and flights to Seoul, I think the story of Ethiopia and Korea is very special. They have a special arrangement with them. So for Ethiopia, they have been able to focus and maintain presence in Korea. With us in the mission, what would be the case will be to ensure that we compute the numbers, convince the MDA responsible, that is tourism, and also the authority under Kenya Airways, the business value of having flights to Korea, because I think the lack of flights was a business decision in terms of viability of the route. But once we have enough traffic in terms of exhibition of how viable is Nairobi-Seoul in terms of traffic, then the business sales may be visible. But however, there can be other concessions that can be done in terms of promoting tourists before we even get the direct flights. What, for instance, can happen is, under the discussion with the Kenya Tourist Board, the service providers here can have special packages that are friendly to any Korean who is coming in terms of what destinations they can do and what destinations they can enjoy at the convenience of their stay here in terms of the package and in terms of the value in the dollar sense.